Chapter 24. The Man with the Scar. "Get up," said Taharka. The man rose to his feet, but still shielded his eyes. "Take your hands away from your face," said Taharka. "Who do you think I am?" "I know who you are, great God," said the man. "Amun, forgive me. I have seen your face. Many times it was necessary." "Then," said Taharka impatiently, "if you are still able to see me, what are you afraid of? Let me look at you." The man removed his hands and raised his head. In the light from the moon, Taharka could see the scar just above the left eye. It was the same man, the man in the street, the man on the Delta border who had raised his hand in farewell. "So," said Taharka, "you have seen my face many times. It was necessary. Of course, an assassin must be sure he has the right man." The point of the sword was still at the man's chest. "I'm not an assassin," the man protested. "I'm a—" He stopped. "A what?" said Taharka, glancing at the coiled rope. "A cat burglar?" "A cat burglar?" Shepnu sat far away on the roof of that other great house in Thebes. "He says he was a cat burglar. Who are you? What's your name?" "I am Kefmose," said the man, adding proudly, "Kefmose the cat. I guard the Holy of Holies in the temple at Thebes. That is," he added, "I did." "Come," said Taharka. He prodded the man toward the entryway and, following, sheathed his sword. "Sit," he said. As they entered the chamber, the lamp was burning. He had brought some dates from the table of the king. "Eat if you're hungry," he said. He was. And as he helped himself to the fruit, Taharka settled himself on the cushions. "Why?" he said. "You've been following me all along. In Thebes to the Delta, across the desert. How did you manage that? Why?" "She told me to," said the man called Kefmose, through a mouthful of dates. "She? The lady? The priestess?" Shepnu said. Taharka felt as if someone had struck him a blow in the chest, as if Shepnuset herself had appeared in the little chamber. "What she tells me to do, I do," said Kefmose. "She saved my life once, when they would have had me beaten and I fought back. She got me the job in the temple. She said she might have use for me later, and she did." And Taharka listened, humbled and shamed by his old doubts of the girl who loved him. Kefmose told him the story. He had indeed been a cat burglar as a boy, the highest ranking in the profession, working for a gang boss, the master of a band of child thieves. But he had gotten away from the man, tried to find honest work and had a hard time of it, and finally joined the army. One of his duties had been to arrest his old master. Out of revenge, the man had betrayed his past. "And," said Kefmose indignantly, "he even lied about my rank, said I was a purse snatcher." Sentenced to be beaten for fraud, he had defended himself and been cut down by a sword blow to the head. That's how I got the scar, and taken before the high priest, who had sentenced him to death. But the lady said no, and when the lady says no, it's no. She said she liked people with spirit, and there were things I could do for her. There were sooner than I expected. I'm the one who got her into the Holy of Holies and barricaded it when the pretender came, just before the wedding. He wasn't the bridegroom. So she had really done it. And it's true, thought Taharka. With all his power and determination, Shabbataka had not won against her. She loves me. "When you left the great house," said Kefmose, "she told me to follow you wherever you went. If you got into trouble, I was to get you out of it. You'll know what to do," she said. "But it seems, great God, that you are not so bad after all at taking care of yourself." "With a little help from my friends and perhaps a god or two," thought Taharka. "I suppose," said Kefmose, "that at the time she didn't know what following you was going to mean. But she told me to do it, and I did it." Taharka looked at him in wonder. "How did you do it? The desert. How did you get across the desert?" "That was the easy part. The army again. I joined up with him." He rose suddenly frowning. "That's why I'm here." "Yes. Why are you here? After all these weeks, why do you suddenly show yourself? I'm safe now. No need to watch over me any more. Now you can go back. Tell Shepnuset." He stopped. What message did he have for Shepnuset? That they would never see each other again? "Should I tell her you're coming back?" asked Kefmose. "With the army?" Taharka stared at him helplessly. "These new friends of yours, here in Jerusalem, could they help?" "How could they help?" "Yes, that's what I thought," said Kefmose gloomily. "But there is something you ought to know, you and your friends. It's why I came here tonight." Taharka waited as the man finished the last date. "One thing about my old gang boss," said Kefmose, "he taught me a lot. He taught me how to listen for things people didn't want known. I'm a good spy. That's how I found you. I heard from the Mukri that you had been captured, and I have been tracking you down ever since. But while I was with the pretender, I thought I might as well keep an ear open. It's a good thing I did." "Go on," said Taharka. "This king of Judah," said Kefmose. "He thinks he is safe now, but he's not." "What do you mean?" But already Taharka had begun to understand. "The pretender knows he's going to have trouble at home. He's had news. The priestess. A lot of people are loyal to her. They will have heard of the Assyrians' victory, and if he goes back defeated, his tail between his legs." "But," said Taharka slowly, "if he goes back the conqueror of Judah, the conqueror of Canaan, like Ramesses the Great." "That's the plan. Cartloads of tribute, slaves, maybe even the king of Judah in a cage." Taharka felt a little sick. Sennacherib, Shabbataka, where was the difference? Evil was evil, wherever it arose. "Choices," Hezekiah had said. The time had come when the choice must be made for good and all. He thought of Hezekiah, asleep in the king's chamber, dreaming of the prospect of life. He thought of Shepneset, brave little Shepneset and the asp, the girl who loved him and had watched over him from afar, the brave lady gathering her supporters to stand against the usurper. But how long could she do it alone? A grim smile played around Taharka's lips. His life had been given back to him by some twist of fate or hand of a god. Now, once again, it hung in the balance. But he had made his choice. He would do his part and let the gods decide. "So," said Hezekiah, "you will go to the army? We of Judah thank you. But will it work?" Taharka had gone with Kefmose and Amos to bring the warning to the king. Already there had been news. The Cushite army had not returned to the Nile. It was camped not far away. "They would want him back," said Kefmose. "Except for his Somali guards, the army does not favor this king. The portents have not been good. The sun has done strange things. The earth has trembled. The army has been defeated. Not all of them really believe he's the god." "But what will they think me?" said Taharka. "A pretender? None of them know my face." "I can vouch for you, great god," said Kefmose. "Who would believe you?" said Taharka bluntly. "Besides, I will not put you in this peril. Whatever happens, the priestess will need you in Thebes." Hezekiah had risen to his feet. "You do not have to do this. We took our chances with Sennacherib. We will take our chances with the Shabbataka." "No," said Taharka. "I will play out this game to the end. 2 impossible things have happened already, and perhaps 1 more will happen now." "I will send you out with the army," said Hezekiah. "I will ride at your side, the king of Judah and his army, restoring Pharaoh to his men. They'll cut you down. You will only hasten the ruin of your people. The Cushites couldn't stand against the Assyrians, but, forgive me, no army of Judah can stand against them." And he said what, in his heart, he had always felt was true. "I must face him alone." Amos spoke for the first time. Not alone. He too rose to his feet. He began to pace restlessly about the room. "Listen," he said. "This could succeed." And to Kefmose, "You say the army is not completely loyal to this pharaoh?" "I've been one of them," said Kefmose. "I've heard what they say when the captains aren't listening. They remember who the golden wand pointed to. Some think this man has murdered the true God and that he's under a curse. So, if they had a choice—" Kefmose snorted. "When did they ever have a choice?" "Let's give them a choice," said Amos. He smiled at Taharka. "Remember Talos and the stories of his people? Let's let them choose their king." "How will we do that?" "First," said Amos, "you must not face him alone. That is the one thing you must not do. The people must be there to witness. No message, no warning, no private meeting surrounded by his guards. We will ride out, you and I, to their camp. I will be your spokesman, your Rab Shaka, but they won't know that. You will not ride out as a king. No royal robe, nothing to draw attention at first. A herald will announce us, an ambassador from the king of Judah with a message for Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now, what do you suppose they will think this message is?" "An offer," said Hezekiah, "an offer of tribute, a bribe to make them turn around and go home." "Exactly," said Amos. "Never fear, they'll let us in." "And then—" Amos stopped. He didn't know. "And then," he said at last, "what will happen, will happen. You know," said Taharka, "that you're going to your death." "What choice do I have?" "What choice do any of us have?" he added briskly. "As for the herald, I know just the man, a voice like a bullhorn, always ready to gamble for high stakes. And that's what we're doing. A gamble for the highest stakes of all, a gamble we have to take." "When will you go?" said Hezekiah at last. "We must be quick," said Amos. Taharka smiled at once again, perhaps for the last time. He repeated the old refrain, "There is no time." And on the following morning they stood together in the chariot of the ambassador, the driver and herald in the front, and Amos whispered, "You said once you were chosen by mistake. We in Judah believe that our God does not make mistakes. Let's find out."